Great news, you guys. The title is true. It has literally never been easier to win in high ticket sales. If you're a salesperson trying to get into the remote 1099 contracted sales space, the bar is so damn low. I'm about to show you in this video why that is and why that's good for you. If you don't know me, my name is Dylan. I've been in this space since 2022 after I quit my roofing sales job. I went from closing to management to community owner to sales agency owner to selling a sales agency to still running a community to now running a sales media brand. When I was running a sales agency, we built up to 30 employees before I sold, and I was a big part of the recruiting. And besides that, I did outside recruiting for other businesses, kind of one-off transaction, but I still do run the community. It's focused on landing the best quality jobs possible. And so I'm still very tapped into this. But recently, I came out of retirement for a friend who has a very high quality role. In the high ticket space, it's not hard to make a lot of money. I'm not gonna say it's easy, but what is truly difficult is making a significant amount of money with stability and doing it over time. That's pretty rare in this space. And so he comes to me with his role, 6-year-old company, rare in the space, solid founder, great track record, amazing service delivery, great results, a very high quality full cycle DM setting closing role, proven by revenue, on target earnings with a bigger base pay than you're gonna get anywhere else. And so I said, you know what, dude? I would like to help someone take advantage of this opportunity. I'll do some recruiting for you. And if you see my dog's nose, yeah, that's my dog's nose. She's literally right here in front of me. So multi-7-figure business. They're also scaling an AI company, chasing 9 figures. It's a great opportunity for someone to get into something stable, good amounts of upside, learn from an awesome founder, be tapped into AI. It's honestly an opportunity that I think a lot of you guys watching would be super down for. What it is not is some inbound closing only 30K per month part-time role. It is not that, but it is something that leans more on the side of stability and just consistent high earnings. This is a 6-figure per year remote job. I'm gonna pop it up on the screen, but just so you know the applicant pool that we got in front of. Combined, we got this in front of over 400,000 people. Think about that, 400,000 people. That is a city all interested in remote sales work. Some of these people more interested, some of these people more invested, some of them not very. But there is some level of interest. So I posted it in my community that I run. I posted it in the group chat for the Austin, Texas meetup that we had. I sent this to my personal email list, posted it on my personal Instagram, my personal X account, and my personal LinkedIn. That section alone was 46,000 people. Then I took it to Because of Sales, my other brand, and I put it in one of our emails, and I put it on our Instagram. That's about 7,500 people that we posted it out to. And then I took it to other connections or groups. I took it to over 10 Facebook groups with a combined 350,000 people. I took it to a recruiting partner who then posted it in a ton of different communities with invested high ticket sales reps. As it currently stands, I have 21 applicants over the course of 2 days. So 21 people out of 400,000 applied to this. And this role is not for everybody. We're looking for a specific person, but I just want to show you guys how low the bar is. I want to give you some hope that this is possible for you if you're not already in it. I tried to change the scene and this is what we get. So I'm gonna pop up on the screen, blur it out. The general lay of the land with the applications that we received. Blue is gonna be strongest candidates. Green is strong. Yellow is contender. Orange is potential contender, and red is poor fit. The red highlighted box is people in my community, the serial sales community. So now that you know generally the sentiment around most of these applicants, let's look at the form that they filled out. Oh, you don't have that many applicants because the form was super long and nobody had time to do it. No, dude, it was like 7 questions, and more than half of them being almost one-word answers. We've got their full name, their email address, phone number, where they're from. By the way, this was a US-based role, or we're looking for North or South America. And if I count here, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 people out of 21 that were immediately disqualified because they are not in North or South America. Now, in a traditional case, they usually have a little bit more leeway, but because this is a paid recruiting gig that I'm doing, they said North or South America. I am not giving them anyone outside of North or South America. I am following their instructions precisely. Then I try to get a pulse for current obligations and availability now and once they're ramped up. This is just so I can kind of gauge who I should talk to when. And then I ask for a link to the resume. And surprisingly, I have 21 resume links, either Google Docs or Google Drive, which is pretty rare. If you guys know me, I'm gonna link a video after this talking about what's really important when it comes to applications. Resumes are up there, even though they're not asked for all the time. they're up there because they're not always asked for. Not that many people have good ones. So when they are asked for, that is such a good opportunity to stand out regardless of sales experience. So surprisingly, I have 21 out of 21 applications. Usually some people will leave that blank or they'll say, I'll send it to you later, something that doesn't really help them. Next, Loom video. And on the resume one and on the Loom video one, at the bottom of the form, you'll see it on here, I literally say, don't follow instructions equals auto DQ. So maybe that helps. But on the Loom video, I have 19 Loom videos. I have someone who sent me a YouTube link. I have someone who sent me Streamable. No idea what that is. It's the same thing. Before I even open this, I am already thinking negatively because they don't know how to do something as simple as use loom.com. They could be the best applicant ever. If they either can't read or can't figure out how to use loom.com, that is a red flag. And then I also listed the Loom framework that I want. Some people sending me videos 2 times, 3 times as long as I asked for, red flag. Most of them, resume and Loom video wise, surprisingly followed the right format. They gave me what I needed, so that was good. And then the last thing I asked for is why you? And this is kind of an opportunity for me to see who really wants it. I don't really have many negative things to say about this, to be honest. There's some pretty good responses in here. Someone said because I want to be one of the best. The only way this answer is really gonna sway your application one way or another is if you put literally nothing or you extremely half-ass it. So overall, surprisingly, a lot of people adhered to what we asked, but there's some outliers. Again, I have a video. This is actually the presentation I did at our Austin, Texas meetup, and I'm gonna link it at the end of this one, but I'm gonna explain to you why some of these things have more weight in the application process than others and how you can instantly, regardless of experience, become a top contender for most sales roles out there. Watch that video after this one. It's really good. I put a lot of time into it. Now, despite people following instructions for the most part, I could not help but notice how low quality some of the submissions were. Let's start with this, for example. I will throw the screenshot up here in addition to this tweet from a good homie, Sam. If you can't work out how to get on a Zoom call without a bed in the background, you're not going to be able to solve the sorts of problems that people pay other people hundreds of thousands of dollars per year to solve. The role we're hiring for is selling to CEOs and business owners a solution that is going to solve a 6-figure, 7-figure problem for them in their business. If this is how you show up in the interview process where you are supposed to put your best foot forward, where salespeople traditionally wear suit and tie and walk into an office, and this is how you show up for a closing role, meaning you will be on camera selling to this business's prospects, what the hell are you doing? I had someone a long time ago ask me, hey, should I wear a collared shirt in my Loom video? Why are you asking me that question? Yes, it's not required. I'm not gonna not hire you if you don't have a collared shirt, but like if something's so small in your control and it takes nothing but 5 seconds for you to do it, why are we not just doing it? Why are we not just turning the camera away from your dirty ass laundry? So this is something I got. Next, that's a Loom, right? There were some good ones. Honestly, there were no Loom videos besides one that really stood out to me. And the one that stood out, the guy did not even have that much sales experience, but he's being considered because he presented himself well. Next, listen to the audio on this Loom video. By the way, this dude is not from the US. He was immediately disqualified, but still watch the Loom video. Listen to the first 3 seconds.
Hey, what's up, G? My name is and I'm based in Lahore and London.
Dude, what the hell are we doing? In what world do you show up to a 6-figure per year sales job interview and say, yo, what's up, G? I have no words. I actually have no words. Yo, what's up, G? That's awful. That is seriously awful. Now next, I'm gonna pop up a few resumes here. Do any of these resumes, kind of blurred out because I don't want to dox anybody, but do any of these resumes scream competent individual that can problem solve expensive problems? No, it screams Google search, first resume template that pops up, hasn't been updated in a long time, not really paying attention to detail, looks like everybody else. In high ticket sales, it's very performance based. It's all about numbers. It's about performance and your ability to make a difference in the role that you're in, regardless if that was a sales job or not. Some of the way that these experience blocks are written up, they look like job descriptions. A job description versus your unique experience in the role are 2 different things. And if you're expecting to stand out by putting a job description-esque write-up of what you've done, forget about it. Another thing I want to mention here is the overall speed of applicants. So I did a pre-release to my community. And by the way, in my community, we post 20 to 30 jobs per day. So I wasn't really expecting to get a super high volume of applications from that. And honestly, like we post jobs at higher OTEs. This one is just a little bit more valuable on like the stability side of things. But I got one application in. The one application I did get in, aside from them just being in the community, they are one of the strongest applicants. But within 6 hours of blasting this, basically in front of 400,000 people, and I know it was in the middle of the workday during the week, it's a good role, but it's not a 30 to 50K per month role, which most of these, like hardly anyone in here is qualified for that. Within 6 hours, I had 10 applicants on a 7-question application form. So just so you know, that's where the bar is. And maybe half of those people were not even in the region where you're looking to hire, North or South America. Let me refresh here. Now it is now the second day. I have 2 applications in. We are halfway through the second day of this being posted, 12 hours through. I have 2 applications in. And I understand there's a lot of other jobs out there, but I'm just showing you guys to give you a realistic insight into this is a quality role. This is what the lay of the land looks like. This is where the bar is. Here's how you can win these jobs, regardless of sales experience. One mistake that I want to point out that somebody made, and I'm not going to put the video up, but this woman, good results, sales career, I have reason to believe she's competent. She shows up, she's got a coat on, like a suit jacket. I'm like, cool. Her background is not synonymous with what she is wearing and how she is speaking. And so now I am more distracted by the messy, cluttered, unprofessional background, and I'm making judgments. And it's not just me, it's everyone. Every hiring manager, it's like when you wash a car that has like faded paint, dented bumper, cracked window. It's like from afar, it kind of looks good, but when you really stop and think, you're like, wait, is this what I think it is? So make sure that in your Loom videos, on your interviews, when you're working these roles, that you're not polishing a turd. General rule of thumb, make sure that you're not just putting all your focus into your appearance when your background is extremely contradicting or vice versa. So you guys, right now I have like 3 outlier candidates for this role. And honestly, some of these outliers aren't even because of the relevant sales experience. Relevant sales experience is such a small part. There's certain criteria that I think will get you ahead of other applicants. One, sales experience. It does matter. Industry experience, your why. Like one of the later Loom videos I got, she mentioned how she has a mortgage, kids out of the house. She has nothing better to do than to go all in with this opportunity. And having a why will really set you apart. Not just like, I want to be the best, like the one guy said, right? I want to make 100K per year. It's like, I have a mortgage, I have responsibilities, and I have time. And that, especially in the high ticket sales space, it's a little bit more rare. That's going to help you out a lot. If you have kids, that can help you. Another thing that will set you apart but will not get you hired, I was just talking about this on a live call today, is how hungry you are. Because if I have 2 people that are equal skill level and one of them is more hungry, one of them has a stronger why, then I'm gonna pick that person. However, if you are in Nigeria and I'm looking for a North American based person, your why is not enough to get you considered or hired. Again, this is a different situation because I'm being paid as a recruiter to go and find a very specific person. Usually, if you're in my community, I tell you this, the US thing is a preference that you can get around if you're good enough. Okay, the reason why people don't want to hire outside the US is because it's easier to hire in the US. Here's the reasons why. One, they think their prospects won't take well to it, probably because of accents. Newsflash, there's a lot of people in the US with accents from all over the world. So we can get over that objection. 2, the time zones. They're afraid that because you're on the other side of the world, you cannot work the time zones they need. Well, I mean, that's either a yes or a no. Can you or can you not? If you can, then we can get over that. The third thing is actual employment status. Given the fact that we are 1099 contractors for the most part in this industry, that should not be a real bottleneck because contractors can work across the world. And so as long as your English is understandable and you can work US time zones, and this is a contracted role, the only thing that's preventing you from being actually considered is fear that you are not the person for the job, which we got to figure out how to get around. Some of the best closers I know work only for American companies, and they are in Asia, East Europe, Australia. They figured it out. Obviously, it's possible. And the last thing that I think is going to put more weight on certain applicants, and this is across any role, is how are you connected to this role? Are you a cold applicant who has nothing to lose in terms of relationships and reputation? Or were you referred in by someone that if you did wrong by this person, you would take a big hit to your reputation? That is definitely a determining factor. Also, for those that are invested in trainings, if you've invested, let's say a high ticket price point, into your development, you are clearly going to take this more seriously than someone who has not, hopefully. So those are some things, aside from just general sales experience, that will make an applicant stand out versus another one. This is how most people are showing up on their Loom videos, by the way. So all in all, yes, we're still hiring for this role, but if you're catching this video beyond a week, we're probably not hiring for this role. This is a quality role, and I just want to show you, for a 6-figure per year remote contracted sales role, this is your competition. For one of the stronger companies in the space with a bigger track record, which is a desirable thing because there's a lot of fly-by-night people out there, this is your competition. Again, I'm gonna link a video after this. You need to watch that if you are in the running for your first or next remote sales job. Now, if you made it this far and you're currently in this process and you want to make it easier by getting swarmed with an inbound flow of remote sales job opportunities, maybe something along the lines of 650 per month, check the 5th link in the description. That's how many we posted in my community last month. You can see them all listed there by role, OTE, niche, and a link to the job post. But if you want the combination of inbound job flow and working with me one-on-one or small group to make sure your resume is 100% perfect, don't tell anyone. I will literally make resumes for people. To make sure that your Loom video stands out, to make sure that your experience is positioned in the absolute best place possible to get you in the highest quality role so that you don't have months and months waiting or time and shitty opportunities. And you want to be surrounded by other people that are doing this or have done this. Go to the first link in the description. That is the serial sales community business I've been running for 3 years now. I put my first and last name on this. I blast it all over the internet. And I genuinely think we're the best at what we do, which is getting people like you from one sales job or not in a sales job into the highest quality sales job, remote, 1099, that they can possibly get into. And doing that in as short amount of time as possible while minimizing the downside of the commission only space that a lot of you guys might have experienced on your own already. If you made it this far, thank you. Watch the next video or go down to the first link in the description. The bar has never been lower, and I hope that's motivating to you. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next vid.